Hey, how you doing, everybody? Welcome to the Blue Chip Podcast by fans for fans. This is your host, Cody Potter. How y'all doing? So we got the Week 2 breakdowns for college football, man. I'm going to just get right into it, man. It's a lot of names, a lot of teams, a lot of games. When you watch as many games as I do, man, and you go back and start rewatching them, taking notes and everything for your scouting and everything, man, it gets to be a lot. So, I'm just going to go over the games that I watched personally live and then double-checked on the notes. I've watched games since then. Started taking more scouting notes, but these are just the things that I have for right now. Really, really cool week of football, man. The biggest game that I took away from was the ASU Mississippi State game. We're going to get right into that. Wide receiver number 0, Brendan Thomas. Guy just scored right there, man. Big play, man. This dude is a burner. Big speed guy. Sophomore running back, Bothwell, number 24. Really, really like this guy. He's a Alabama State transfer. He's got one more year before I think he comes out in the draft. So he's a guy that I'm highlighting for next year with my notes. Senior offensive tackle, right tackle for Mississippi State, number 76, Albert Reese. Again, these are guys that I'm starring. These are not just guys that I thought had a really, really big impact, man. If I show you the impact players, it's a lot of names. So as we go, I'm really just, like I said, I'm just highlighting the ones. Redshirt sophomore cornerback, number 1, Kelly Jones from Mississippi State. This dude is everything you're looking for in a corner, plus some. He is every bit of 6'3", 6'4" when you look at him on that football field, and this dude shadows very well. One of the best wide receivers in college football this year. He's not my highest graded. I like the USC wide receiver as of right now. But Jordan Tyson, the wide receiver from Arizona State. Actually, you just saw one of the USC wide receivers I just liked on the background. So Jordan Tyson, wide receiver from Arizona State, he's probably he's going to be one of the highest graded wide receivers in the draft this year. Kelly Jones, cornerback number 1 from Mississippi State, was really giving him everything he could handle. He moves very, very well for a 6'4" corner, man. The corner class, the cornerbacks that I'm watching in college football this year, coming out for this year, next year, and the year after, man, they're getting super, super tall, and they are moving very, very well with their length. Highlighted player that just played in the background, Ahmad Moses from SMU. He's a star player. Number 3, he's a guy that I really, really, really like. We're going to go over the quarterbacks and stuff like that after I get through the highlighted players. Baylor, Keaton Thomas, linebacker number 11, is a guy that I highlighted. Matthew Fobbs White, he's a junior edge, number 50 for Baylor, that I liked a lot coming through this week. And back to Mississippi State. Will Whiston. This dude, number 43, is an edge that I really, really like. He's a Coastal Carolina transfer that looked really, really well in week 2. Again, the games that I watched live, man, it's really, really hard to watch 3 games at a time, but I do it. Started off Friday night with Maryland, Northern Illinois. Highlighted a bunch of players from that, but on the preview show, watched Illinois Duke. Kind of had to fall off of that game because of what was going on with the Baylor SMU game. Baylor SMU was an amazing game, 48-45, double overtime. Everything you wanted to see, man. The quarterbacks were really, really going at it, man. That's why I highlighted quite a few players from this game. Kevin Jennings, Sawyer Robertson, man, they really did their thing, man. Sawyer Robertson's a redshirt senior. He's a draftable player in my book, man. Every time I've watched Baylor live, man, he has excelled in the biggest games. I know he doesn't grade out that well on PFF and things like that, man, but this dude's a really good quarterback. He's a quarterback that I really, really like. Is he a first-round prospect? I don't think so. Is he a third-round developmental player? I think he has the legs and everything that you're looking for to be that type of player. He's not the most dynamic athlete, but he does have legs, and he will put the ball where it needs to go. He's more of a move to throw it type, more so than the type of more so than to throw it off the run. But he is a really, really good player. He's a player that I like. He's a player that I think is going to have a really, really good impact going forward for Baylor. for the rest of the season. I think he's a guy that you can draft. I think he's a guy that you can develop to be maybe a solid backup in the NFL. Kevin Jennings, different story. Kevin Jennings is a explosive athlete. Plays very, very well, man. Has good feet. Has worked on the base as far as the things that I needed to see, because last year his feet were his biggest issue for me. His location has improved very, very much this year. And he's played some good teams, man. They lost to Baylor, man, but that's an in-state rivalry. That's what I think was really, really great about this week. We had border rivalries and we had in-state rivalries, and man, it really, really showed up in the way that the games played out. Michigan, Oklahoma was a really, really good game. Not for Michigan, but what I needed to see were the things that I saw from Oklahoma, man. I saw their freshman left tackle, man, number 56, Michael Fossey. Man, this dude was playing lights out football for a freshman, man. He has all the size and movement skills to be a premier tackle in the league. He's a freshman, so, we're a couple drafts out for that. We're about 3 years out, maybe 2. And then Deion Burks, wide receiver from Oklahoma. He's a redshirt senior. He's a draftable guy on my list. He's got a guy that I think I have rated a little bit higher than consensus on my wide receiver board. He's just a weapon, man. You use him in the run, you use him in the pass, man. A little bit more of that dynamic, two-way player as far as the wide receiver running back position goes. More so where the league is heading to more so where the league was. Let's see who else I got. Oh, Reggie Powers, man. Nickel corner safety from Oklahoma. He's a sophomore next year. This is a guy that we're going to be highlighting on this show. And the senior interior defensive line, number 56, Dominique Williams from Oklahoma, man. This dude was all over the place, man. He was just very, very disruptive, pushing the pocket. I know he's not their highest grade interior defensive lineman, but he is the lineman that, when I'm watching football, I'm looking for disruption, man. I'm not really worried about the grading and things like that. I'm looking for how much are they impacting the game, how effective are they being, and all the things like that. He was the one that was really, really moving the pocket. He's the one that was pushing the line back into the quarterback, disrupting the plays. He was very, very disruptive to Bryce Underwood, and that's why I graded him out higher this week, just watching him live. And again, so, you watch these games, man. SMU, Baylor was a hell of a game. Mississippi State really gave it to ASU, Arizona State University. Arizona State University came in the game ranked, and Mississippi State, man, for the first half, you would have thought that Mississippi State was the ranked team, top 10 in the nation. They were giving everything they had to Arizona State University. Arizona State University had a really good third quarter. They got back into the game. Mississippi State ultimately made the plays when it mattered. Brandon Thompson looked really, really good, man. This guy's a burner. This guy is going to impact some team in the NFL on Sundays. He's a senior, number 0. I definitely recommend checking him out. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he is a burner. Probably one of the fastest players in college football right now. And then Maryland players that I like right now coming out, senior wide receiver Jaleel Farouk. Didn't have the biggest impact in last week's game, but this dude is a baller. I kind of like him. He's more of a mid to late round pick that I got a little bit of an eye on. My 2 highest graded players on Maryland right now are Jalen Husky and Daniel Wingate, the linebacker number 1, safety number 22. And then I really like their junior cornerback, Jamari Glasker, number 14. I think he has a chance to maybe even come out this year. Best player that I think is on Maryland's defense is a freshman, Zahir Mathis, number 9. This guy has got about 2 or 3 more years of eligibility. He's going to be a guy that we're going to be talking about probably round 1. I think Daniel Wingate's probably their highest graded player right now on defense as far as for draft eligible. I think Daniel Wingate's a 2nd round player. I think this guy is a really, really good linebacker. And honestly, if we're going through this year, if you're paying attention to my draft grades, things like that, like I said with Keaton Thomas from Baylor, the one narrative that I'm taking away from this draft for this year and next year, linebackers, edges, cornerbacks, man, and safeties, honestly, especially safeties this year with Ohio State's safety, man. You got Moses that I'm highlighting a lot this year, man. the safety play is really, really high this year in this draft, and that's not something that you get from year in, year out. Sometimes you go 2 or 3 years without getting really, really premier safeties. But when you got Caleb Downs, you got Amon Moses in this class, you got some really good guys, man, around college football right now that are really going to make an impact on Sundays. And I'm looking really, really forward to keep grading this defense, man, because this defensive class is grading out very, very highly for me. And it's only week 2. And I haven't even gotten to Miami U. I haven't gotten to like a lot of the teams that have a lot of the premier players. These are just guys that I'm finding that I had really, really good notes on. The reason that I'm watching these games was for individual matchups and things like that. And I'm getting very, very interested in where this is headed because honestly, man, these positions are getting stacked, and they're getting stacked in a very, very big hurry. And I'm just looking very, very forward to continue grading these players because this next year's defensive class, man, I'm talking about players in round 3 that I would probably normally have like a high 2nd, maybe even low 1 grades on, is what I'm finding in this class so far with edges, linebackers. Man, it's deep, dude. This class is loaded with Weeks. I mean, I've gone over him. I love the edge. He's grading out right now as my number 1 edge. But Bain Jr. from Miami U. Dude, I'm telling you, this class is loaded on defense, man. And the wide receiver position, I think, is going to be a little bit weak. But what I am finding is a cluster of 3rd round grades right now for wide receiver. And the last class that I did that in for 2nd and 3rd round wide receiver grades, where I had like low 1s, that ended up being the A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel class. And, you know, they talked about how weak it was because you had a big class coming the year before, and then that was supposed to be a weaker class. And honestly, man, it ended up being one of the better wide receiver classes in that era. So, I mean, you can never really go off of the grades. It's just what you see. It's where they cluster. It's where they grade out. That doesn't really mean they're finished products. I mean, dude, the college football is just a pathway to the NFL. So when you're grading these players, it doesn't mean that that's where they're going to sit. I'll give you a little bit of preview for week 3 college football. We got it starting off early Thursday night. We got NC State versus Wake Forest. Both are undefeated. Both teams have pretty decent quarterback play from what I'm seeing so far. NC State is a pretty well-rounded team. Offensive line play I'm really, really liking. Good halfback. 1 good wide receiver that I'm grading out. Wake Forest, very similar in that regard. Same with defense and things like that. Both of these teams have players on 3 levels of the defense that are going to be drafted. Friday we have Houston, Colorado, and we have Kansas, Arizona. Saturday we got, man, this is a really good Saturday for football, man. We got Wisconsin, Alabama, Temple, Oklahoma. Most people wouldn't shout out Temple in a matchup like this, but Temple plays teams tough, man. Temple's a team that I always have players on my draft board that I'm scouting. Pretty easy to find a lot of times for Temple because they're always single digits, but on that defense and things like that, but and offense. But Temple, Oklahoma is a game that I'm looking forward to scouting. Oklahoma coming off this Michigan game. It's playing in the background right now. How do they play? Because Temple's a team that always plays up to teams like this. And we'll see how it goes. But it's a big matchup that I wanted to highlight. Clemson, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech always plays up in the ACC. They have a very, very dynamic team. The way that they run that offense, the way that they run that ball, and then they are exploiting weaknesses, man. They're just waiting for you to step up, and then they throw the ball over the top. Tennessee is going to be in a big game this week against Georgia. That's their first real test. They are playing very, very well without Nico. And I'm liking this. This actually worked out better for Tennessee than it worked out for UCLA, and it's clicking, man. I like this game. I like this quarterback more than I like Nico, so I'm very, very curious to see how they look against Georgia. And then we got USF versus Miami U. Very excited for this game. Florida in-state rivalry. Both teams are ranked. Miami is top 5. We're going to see what we got, man. Carson Beck looks good so far this season. Is he rock solid? I still have my questions on Carson Beck, but you know what, man? Honestly, go out there and prove me wrong, bud. You're playing good football right now. You're getting the ball to the playmakers, man. You're leading the games. it looks like a veteran-run team as far as college football goes right now. So can they beat USF? Because they have a dynamic quarterback back there. He's only getting better. He's a big physical guy. So we're going to need to see Robert Bain Jr. This is going to be a game that I highlight through my scouting this week. I will watch it live. So next week we will have a lot of Miami players ranked on my pod. Arkansas Ole Miss. That's going to be a good game. Arkansas is trying to make a name for themselves in the SEC. Texas A&M, Notre Dame, man, this is a huge game for both of these teams, man. This is Texas A&M trying to say that we are for real this year. This is Notre Dame saying that we cannot lose two of our ranked games in our season, because honestly, I think this is their last ranked game as we go on this year. So Notre Dame loses this game, it's going to be a hard time bidding them for college football this year. Florida LSU. This is Florida. Dude, Florida lost to USF this past week. This is why Miami U and USF is ranked. I think Miami U takes this USF game, but Florida led down to them, and you knew that Florida was going to have an in-state rivalry. It was an in-state rivalry. You knew it was going to be a big game. Florida couldn't make the plays when it mattered. USF did. Like I said, man, they got a big physical quarterback over there, man. He is a game changer. He is a physical presence, man. The way that he runs the ball, the way that he pushes the ball down the field, has a little bit of, fundamental issues that you need to work with, as far as his draft status and things like that, man. But he is a athlete, and this dude can muscle that ball. So again, USF, man, they're a big challenge for Miami. It's an in-state rivalry. You always play up in these games. Like I said, Florida LSU. LSU is competing for a national title, man. They did what they needed to do so far this year, man. LSU beat Clemson. This is another big game for them. This is their biggest test to date after Clemson. So we're going to see what they do, man. You can't let down against this team if you are looking to do what LSU is looking to do this year. Vanderbilt, South Carolina. Again, Vanderbilt is trying to punch above their weight class in the SEC. They're undefeated so far. They are trying to give South Carolina their first loss. They're trying to say that we are for real as well. And then a team that has really, really stood out for me so far this year is Minnesota. Minnesota versus Cal. That's going to be one of your late night tips. They are playing really, really good football right now, and Cal is undefeated as well. So we are going to see how well Minnesota stacks up against them when they're playing in Cal's house. This is their first real test for me. So again, very exciting week of college football so far that we had last week. It doesn't stop when it comes to college football, man. It's excitement all the time. It's just, all levels of college football are very exciting, whether it's, Toledo, Jackson State, whatever the matchups are, man. I'm highlighting more of the bigger games for you guys, but that doesn't mean that I'm not watching these other games. I record every single college football game, break them down, take notes, highlight players, things like that. Probably by the midway point of the season, I'm going to have a draft board kind of, rankings and things like that, plus players that aren't draft eligible that I'm grading very, very high that are going to be, first, second, third round prospects, things like that we're going to carry on the next year, and things like that. So we're going to end the podcast today with just the clutterness of college football. I appreciate you guys sticking around, checking it out. If you guys watched, like I said, week 3 is going to be super, super exciting. Those are the games that I'm highlighting for next week, so I have a lot of notes on that. Everything panned out really, really awesome, man. All the games that I highlighted last week ended up being really, really, really good games. So, again, I'm very, very excited to see what happens with this. And we'll go from there, man. But again, this is the Blue Chip Podcast by fans for fans. I appreciate you guys checking out my college football. And, we'll enjoy the week, man. NFL kicks off Thursday, the Commanders, Green Bay. And like I said, we got an NC State Wake Forest game that's going to be pretty damn good on Thursday. So for college football too. So you guys want to check that out, I definitely recommend it. It's going to be a very good game. So again, thank you guys for checking out the Blue Chip Podcast by fans for fans. Have a great week. Peace.